Hello everybody, and welcome. Whoops, I bumped the microphone like I always seem to do. This is, as you can already tell, the NCAA Football 13 demo. I'm so excited for the new installment of the NCAA Football series this year. I know many of you that regularly watch my channel may not be interested in this, but this is a series that I've been playing for a very long time, every year. It's kind of a tradition for me to, you know, on release day, get the game every year, just play the poop out of it, you know. I'm very pleased with the demo actually so far from what I've played of it. I've played several games and I've been very pleased with the gameplay. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not going to really say whether the game's going to be awesome or not. You know, I only have a small sampling from the gameplay, and there's the kind of the new car smell, if you will, where it's a new game and it's, you know, they've added some new things and it's all great. But once you actually play the game for a little bit, you know, I'll shut up here.
For Baylor, and now the green and gold on the field and hoping to make a statement with a big victory at home today. That's going to do it here in the studio, but don't worry, we'll be keeping your finger on the pulse of everything that's going on everywhere else across the country. Right now, it's time for kickoff, and ESPN's College Football, Brad Nessler and Kirk Herbstreit are on the call.
From Floyd Casey Stadium, where they played football for over 50 years, we're ready for another great game.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler, along with Kirk Herbstreit. Aaron Andrews will join us from the sideline shortly. This presentation of college football is brought to you by Coke Zero. Real Coke taste, 0 calories. Enjoy everything. Today's game is between the Kansas State Wildcats and the Baylor Bears.
Fantastic. Alright. So as I was saying, it's always easy to be excited about a new game, and when you first play it and think the world of it, that's what I call the new car smells. You know, when you get a new car, it has that great smell and you love it, but it wears off after a while, so I kind of reserve all my opinions about a game for a little bit until I've played it and experienced a lot, you know, pretty much everything there is to experience in the game, and then decide, you know, is it good, is it not, what do I like, what don't I like. I mean, I like it so far, but it's new. I'll be playing as Baylor in this game, by the way. So there's 3 games that you could choose from. USC, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, and this game, Kansas State, Baylor. I just chose to play this one first because it was at the top.
Reese Davis is standing by with this update. Reese, Atlantic Coast Conference action in the spotlight. Virginia Tech gets the W, 31-10. I like this new feature that they added this year with in Dynasty mode. They have updates of games that are going on around, and at the bottom of the screen there you can see also they have a ticker, and so I think it just adds a little bit of immersion to the Dynasty and kind of pulls you into the world a little bit more than just kind of you know, playing the game and moving on. It definitely adds a little bit, you know, it pulls you into the world a little bit more, I think. So and it's good to see that they're taking advantage of the ESPN license that they have a little bit more. I don't see the point in having the license if you're not going to use it to its full potential. So graphically, game looks nice. I mean, I don't put high marks on a game for graphics. I like, of course, the better graphics it has, you know, great, but I don't base my opinion really on graphics of a game. It's just, and it's a plus if it has good graphics. But yeah, it looks really good. I like the player models this year. They have a little bit more of a realistic look than years past. It looks like they did a better job with the linemen looking a little bit, you know, bigger and tubbier, I guess.
from their own 37-yard line.
So it's nice to see that they've kind of upped the realism as far as how it looks. But also the animations look pretty nice too. I mean, things just look a little bit smoother. At least from what I've played so far, you know, still hard to tell. There's 3-minute quarters, which is nice for a demo. You can play a full game of 3-minute quarters, which for a demo is fantastic. But still not enough for me to get a full grasp of the game, especially with my style of play offensively. I like to run the ball, run the option. You know, I grew up watching Nebraska football in the 90s. I'm a Nebraska fan all the way. And if you know anything about those teams in the 90s, and you know, in the 70s and 80s, from the late 60s up through the late 90s and early part of this century, they ran the option. They ran it very well. And speaking of the option, I get a big defensive play here. Intercept the pitch.
Defensive touchdowns give teams such a big morale lift.
And this defender read it, and yeah. Not much else you can say about that play. It's pretty self-explanatory. As I was saying, I like to play the old run it down their throats kind of. I mean, of course you got to have a passing game in there, but I like to run the ball a lot. And in a demo where it's 3-minute quarters, it's kind of hard to run that kind of offense. So, you know, and really this gameplay isn't representative of my skill at all. I'm just kind of doing it to experience the game and to show you guys some gameplay. So it's not going to be the best, I know that, and I kind of just wing it. I'm not playing the Baylor style, I don't think. I'm just kind of doing my own thing here. It's a demo. I'm not serious about it at this point, but
this offense has got to try to pull it all together now after the fumble cost.
Of course, Baylor doesn't have RG3 anymore. Kind of sucks. That was like last year, the one in NCAA 12. That was like one of the big reasons to play as Baylor was you could use RG3. Of course, they have the Heisman mode this year that allows you to play as RG3 again, so that's good. But
so it's 2nd and 10.
You know what I'm saying, obviously. In the actual legit part of the game, you can't. He's not on the team anymore. He graduated and NFL, all that stuff. So yeah. But anyway, back to the my observations. One thing you'll see is the Kansas State quarterback. He likes to run. If you've seen Kansas State play in real life, this guy, I don't remember his name. If he's the same guy that I'm thinking of, he's a pretty quick guy for a quarterback. He does. He likes to run. And, he did it quite a few times in this game, if I remember correctly. Yeah, see, he likes to take off sometimes.
Terrific top 25 matchups today. Let's take a look at this one again. Check out these two teams keeping it close. TCU has.
I do like these studio updates. They're pretty cool.
Thanks, Reese. 7-0 game here.
You know, like I said, it adds a little bit of immersion to the game. So, so yeah. One thing I noticed: punt returns are actually. Like, you can actually get some decent returns this year. They definitely tweaked the blocking. I don't think I really get anything big on this one or later on at all, but I have gotten some in a few other games. I got some decent returns because for the past several years the punt returning has been terrible. It's been a non-factor. You couldn't get anywhere 99% of the time. I think I had one punt return for a touchdown in all the games of NCAA 12 I played last year. So, and I played quite a few games, so it's not a good number. And my average is pretty low as well. But yeah, what I like this year is they really tweaked the passing game. As you can see here, the receiver watches the ball come into his hands. They made it so the receiver and the defensive backs have to see the ball in order to make a play, to catch it, or if they're a defender, to break it up. And it's really interesting how much more realistic that looks when you're just playing. When a guy has to actually watch the ball, where in years past, you know, they kind of just they didn't really have to look at it. They could just be running and catch the ball without looking at it. So it's a little thing, but it's really you'll see this later on in the game with some like big deep ball plays and such. You'll see where that's a big factor, where the player has to look at the ball and they have to see it. I mean, it's such a little thing, but it adds a lot more realism. You know, you just to see it when you're playing, it's really interesting. And they apparently added like 400 new catch animations. And I have noticed a lot of new catch animations, which is nice.
He's at the 20, makes the grab and steps out right away.
And so I really love how they did tweak the passing game, even though I'm not much of a passing guy. You know, as I stated before, I just probably run 70% of the time. So I don't do that as much in the demo because 3-minute quarters doesn't really give you a lot to work with. But end of the first quarter.
Low-scoring game in that first 15 minutes. Let's see if things open up in the second quarter. Baylor leads it 7-0.
Also, if you want to see, if you're not into like commentary like I'm doing right now, and you just want to see straight gameplay, I have I recorded the Alabama LSU game that I played, and I will not do commentary over that. So if you want to see just raw gameplay without me talking of the demo, then I'll post that. But if you like commentary, then you can, you know, stick with me on this one.
Ball on the 19-yard line.
Or watch both. That's always cool. And apparently they tweaked the option and the option blocking this year. I didn't read that correctly, so it was a fail read option. I should have given it to the halfback. So plus, I don't think this quarterback is very quick either, so he's not really cut out to run the option anyway.
Ball on the 21.
But I don't know. Another interesting thing this year that they added with the passing game is the ability to add like to lead your receivers, or add a touch to your pass. I guess that's probably not. No, it's leading your receivers. That's what I'm. That's yeah. I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry, but anyway, it's a really interesting
3rd down and 13
feature. I mean, it's really changed how you can hit your receivers. I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. Sorry, but I might see it right here. No, I don't know why. I don't know why I tried to do that, but it's definitely a lot more fun passing the ball when you can lead your receivers a little bit, especially if you notice he's kind of being pressed by a defender, and you can kind of put it over the defender's head. We'll see some later on, I think. I'm doing post commentary if you couldn't figure that out already. But it's a lot easier to do this after the fact. So yeah, I think I pretty much discussed everything feature-wise that they added into the game that I wanted to discuss and point out. Like I said, I really like a lot of the catching animations they have this year, and the receivers watching the ball instead of just blindly catching the ball. I don't know, the game does feel pretty nice in the demo so far. I think it's on varsity difficulty though. I'm not sure, but I think it's set to varsity, so it's a little easy. I usually play on All-American and tweak the sliders a little bit every year, but
Defense looking for another sack in the second.
Usually All-American's a good challenge for me. It's not cheapo Heisman. So,
he drops back.
And as you can see, he just loves to take off and run. He actually gets a pretty decent game there.
Gain of 13
yards. That'll make it 3rd and 9.
But it's nice. A couple years ago, I know they had an issue with quarterbacks not scrambling at all, which was really annoying because, especially if you're playing, like, you know, if you were playing against Denard Robinson or a guy like this for Kansas State or Taylor Martinez or whoever, you know, it takes out that element if you don't have scrambling quarterbacks. Because what makes Denard Robinson so special is, you know, he has that threat of whenever he goes back to pass, he might just take off and burn you for 20 yards on the ground. So I don't remember, was that last year or NCAA 11? I do not remember, but that really sucked. So I'm glad they got that worked out.
Reese Davis joins us in the studio with this update. Reese?
We've been keeping an eye on everything going on in the top 25.
TCU beating up on it's not really beating up, but 16-0 is not exactly close.
16-0.
10-0 in this one.
But anyway, I've had a good time with the demo. I'm having fun. That's the most important thing for me.
They've got 10 guys up. It looks like they're going to try to block.
Have fun, and as long as it's
looks of things, they're going to take their first time out.
You know, mostly realistic. I can excuse some random video game. You know, it's a video game, so it's not perfect. Everything's going to be 100% realistic, but I think if it's a good representation of football, which it appears to be so far, which is not saying much because my experience is only with 3-minute quarter games, but I was surprised though.
It was a pretty one-sided first quarter, but I wouldn't be surprised.
3-minute quarters and you can play a full game. 3-minute quarters, that's a really good demo. It really allows you to experience the gameplay. And right there I used the leading the receiver feature. I led him off his route a little bit there, separated from his defender a little bit. But I think it's, and I did it again right there. But I think it's funny. I see people like on forums complaining about the demo and like how you can't pick the uniforms for the teams in the demo. And I was like, I mean, the point of a demo is to experience the gameplay. All the other little features, you know, can kind of wait. It's not, you know, it's not for all the in-depth features. It's mainly to just get an idea of how it feels gameplay-wise.
Meanwhile, the Mountaineers of West
So yeah,
have
you know.
Morgantown ready and rocking. This one's been entertaining us all day long.
I don't know if I explained this earlier, and it's probably obvious if you played the demo anyway. But we're playing in week 10 of the season that they've, I guess, simulated or set up for the demo. So, you know, everything's kind of, you're kind of in the middle of the season. And, I mean, look, Kansas State, they're number 6 in the country, and Baylor 25 in the country.
I guess he'll throw this one as far as he can and hope for a miracle.
I mean, I think Kansas State would probably have more points than this. And as I said before,
no, incomplete. We've played a half. The Bears lead it 10-0.
I can see the deep balls being really interesting with the ability to lead the receiver. I did it there and I led him too far, so one thing I really hope they fixed, and it looks like so far from what I've played, they've kind of fixed it, I guess. It wasn't real like a glitch, but it was an issue for me last year, and just with that 4 verticals and lots of plays that had streak route in them, streak routes in them. Let me see if I can talk correctly. It was like automatic. Like you could complete vertical plays like that a lot, way too much, way too much. It was too easy. I always felt cheap. I didn't run 4 verticals like ever after I discovered it was just like a. It was really cheap. It was annoying, and I didn't read the option right. I know I held A to hand it to the halfback, and he didn't do it. So I think I don't know. I don't remember anymore. But again, you have to run that play correctly to have some chance at success. It's not always easy to run that read option play, but if you know what you're doing, you can really destroy teams with it. It's fun. This 25 is a pretty good runner, but I'll take everything that I do in this demo with a grain of salt, because I'm pretty sure it's on varsity difficulty, which is not that difficult for somebody like me who's been playing NCAA games for, I don't know, 13 years now. Look at this quarterback go. I ran the option beautifully there, if I do say so myself. They got a nice block from the fullback. Number 4 probably could have caught me a lot earlier, but again, I think we're playing against a varsity difficulty team, so yeah. Try not to be too impressed with anything that I do. Yeah. A nice little play here for Mr. 25. I don't know your name in real life, but that's okay.
Let's get the latest now from Reese Davis. Let's take a look at what's going on in the top 25. This is a game we've been watching closely all day long. The Horned Frogs unleash their aerial assault and find pay dirt for a touchdown. TCU has the edge, 23-10.
I always think it's funny though when I see on like various forums and stuff, and people are like requesting for NCAA to have the real names in. Other than, obviously once the game releases, people put out real named rosters, and you can download them, but the base game, the retail game that you buy, just comes with the guys, the numbers, and it's like, they can't put the names in there because these aren't licensed players. The players that are represented in this game are supposed to technically be fictional because college players are not licensed, and so they can't have their names in the game. So I think it's funny as people like constantly request that, but it's never gonna happen. You just have to deal with, you know, people who put out rosters. And I thought that was a nice play. Touchdown. My first offensive touchdown. It was barely a touchdown at that, yeah. I saw a really sweet catch animation. I was playing the USC-Oregon game, and the computer hit a really nice touchdown play. It was just like a really sweet diving catch. I don't think I've ever seen an animation like that. Obviously one of the new ones this year, but I mean, as far as like in any video game, sports-wise, it was a really cool animation. It was just, I can't even describe it. I wish I had recorded that, but maybe we'll see it sometime. Sometime again. I may record another, or may record USC Oregon, so we have all 3 games, but we'll see.
They don't have the luxury of wasting drives if they want to get back.
So we're up 17-0, no big deal here. And I definitely hit the quarterback late on that one. That was a cheap shot. But funnily enough, this isn't a penalty that gets called a lot in NCAA 12.
Too late and he knows it. He'll learn not to make those kinds
you
of
can like hit the quarterback whenever you want, basically, and it won't get called. Even if you have the penalty slider for roughing the passer to 100, it's
From
like
the 47-yard line. It's first down.
So you know, whatever. I'm up 17 points.
Back to pass.
I know I've been talking a lot in this video, so I just want to get all my opinions on the demo out there. Even though I have, this was a half-hour video.
He didn't have any room after that catch.
I like that. He watches the ball come in, and, you know, all the way through too. Not like looking and then not looking and catching the ball when he's not looking. Yeah.
2nd and 7. Ball on the 44-yard line.
I'm pretty optimistic about the game this year. I think it'll be good. I mean, I hope it'll be good.
He's going to try and scramble. He's taken down at the 42-yard line.
I'm excited. I'm always excited, though. I mean, like I said, I've kind of made it a tradition now to get the game on release day, and it used to be back in the good old days. My dad and I would always go. I mean, this was back right when the PS2 came out, and we got the first. I think it was NCAA 2001. That was the first time this series came on to PlayStation 2. And I remember when we got that, and so then it kind of turned into a thing every year. We would go on release day when the game came out, and we would get it, and then me and him would always play a game against each other, and it was fun times. And then eventually, you know, I got older, and he got older, and he doesn't really play video games as much anymore because he's getting older, and well, his reflexes aren't quite as sharp, but anyway, so I've just kind of made it my own thing now, and
so it's 4th down, and the offense is still on the field.
I haven't missed
Less than 3 minutes.
Haven't missed a game in the series since 2000. Oh no, I guess the year before that, because I got
he drops back, and he throws right
NCAA
away.
2000.
It's the junior.
And that was a really sweet pick.
He saw that he was going to get hit and just threw one up for grabs. He's got to learn to take the sack.
Nice little animation there, I like that they had for that. But basically, we'll just kind of kill the clock. Excuse me, the rest of the way. Yeah, I have had every NCAA game since NCAA 2000. I think we also had 98, but I didn't really play too much of that because wasn't as much of a gamer up until that point, I guess. But it's been good. It's been good times. I'm a huge college football fan. I love it. As I said before, I mean, you know, I'm from Nebraska. I don't live there now, but I'm from there originally. I'm a huge fan, so if you know anything about Nebraska, you know Nebraska football is pretty much life. It's everything. In the fall, it's all you think about. So, and you know,
the Horned Frogs are on top, 30-17.
It'd be nice if Taylor Martinez could actually be like a decent quarterback. Like half the time he can actually make some really good passes, but the other half the time he's the worst quarterback ever. So you know, he's very bipolar in that respect, which is unfortunate because you know if he could actually get consistent, he's a pretty talented quarterback, but he just needs to get a little bit more intelligent about how he runs his plays.
That time he just seemed to wait and kind of delay his reaction.
Anyway, enough of me ranting.
Make a read, get upfield as quickly as possible. In college football, especially up in the NFL,
at this point I stopped caring about what play I was going to call. You know, we're just running the clock out, so whatever. We'll just run the fullback on this play.
From their own 43-yard line, second down.
Why not? Why not run the fullback on this play? Why you gotta be hating?
Takes the ball inside. A gain of 3 yards by the fullback.
Well, this corner isn't the biggest guy on the field, but he made a nice tackle there.
I like Baylor. Look at that view. I like Baylor Stadium, especially that section over there that says "This is Bear Country." That's pretty cool.
Third down, and they need to get it.
They have a nice stadium. Pretty cool uniforms as well. You know.
Down at the 46-yard line.
And this will be the game right here. Clock will run out, and it's over. 17-0. That's not really saying that much, but that's some gameplay for you guys. You know, if you played the demo, let me know what you think. If not, you know, throw some comments down there.
Take a look at the highlights. Kirk, how would you summarize
22. He had the interception and that. Well, he had this interception, and then he had that other interception. What a beast!
They need to re-examine this offense and figure out how they can put some more.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, and I'll be excited when the game actually comes out in a month to get it.
Here's another look at our selection for the EA Sports
throw some gameplay up when we get that. So
for Kansas State, they'll head to the locker room disappointed but motivated as they drop only their second game.
I don't have much else to say at this point.
And for the Bears, they continue to build on what's shaping up to be a good season. That's going to do it for this edition of NCAA.
Look at some highlights here.
I'm Brad Nessler saying so long for my
of
partners,
course,
Kirk Herbstreit,
pretty much play right there and play the game. Boom. Major sackage. Big Tubby, number 49. A nice little grab there for the touchdown. Fantastic. And there's 22. What a beast. All right, well, I'm Jammer1031, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see non-commentated gameplay, be sure to check out my Alabama LSU video, which should be up not too long after this one goes up. So, see you all around next time.